What's going on? Thanks for stopping by my video. My name is Krupadoop, and today I wanted to talk about skill-based matchmaking versus connection-based matchmaking because it seems to be a very hot topic within the community, and Bungie even made a few comments, more than a few comments, in this week's Bungie update. And so the gist of their explanation was that Destiny primarily is a connection-based matchmaking game when it comes to the Crucible. And they're replying to outcry from the community about skill-based matchmaking taking priority over connection-based matchmaking. And what they said was, first, we identify a pool of available players with a good connection to you. Within that pool, we choose players closely matched to your personal skill rating. If we can't find players within that pool, we widen the variance in skill. If that doesn't work, we expand the search again with more variance in connection quality. Once enough players are selected, we break them out into equally skilled teams. Now, if you are in the upper tiers of skill level in PvP, I can understand why you might be somewhat upset with the way skill-based matchmaking and connection-based matchmaking work together. But the reason why, in my opinion, these two systems might seem like they're fighting each other every once in a while is because when you are one of the more skilled players in the game, there are less players to choose from that are in your skill brackets. As you get higher and higher in the skill brackets, there are less players that can be match made against you. And I understand that some people just want to have fun with their friends or want to take an easy night and play the Crucible and enjoy some casual matches. But you got to realize that there is someone on the other end of that game, that when you are a great player playing against average players and you're stomping on them, the people on the other end, on the receiving end of that stomping, are not having a good time. And I've complained about it myself. I've experienced what a lot of people have expressed, where you're in a game and it seems like everyone has a slightly, not a full green bar, but like almost a green bar, to where there's just a little bit of lag and you feel like there are ghost bullets. You feel like you're getting shot through the wall every once in a while. Or other games, I mean, some of the Crucible matches that I've uploaded in previous videos, there are multiple occasions, just in the last video actually that I uploaded, where I was killed a couple times or had to fight another person that was teleporting around the map because they were red barring and everyone else in the lobby had a green bar. This type of stuff happens for players that are dedicated to the game because we play more matches, so therefore we somewhat have a bias. You feel like you're experiencing it more when really you're playing more games, so it happens to you more often. It feels like it's happening to you more often because you experience it more. But that's just because you are putting your name into the hat more times, therefore it's going to happen to you more. So for an average Destiny player, most of the time, the connections are going to be good and you're going to have a fun time. So if you are an individual that feels like skill-based matchmaking is taking a priority over connection-based matchmaking, you're constantly being put into lobbies where you're red barring, I would really love to see that evidence. Especially because we are not, people that watch YouTube videos, people that post on the Bungie.net forums, and people that are on Reddit, we are not the majority of the community. The majority of Destiny players don't follow the game as closely as we do. So their experiences are vastly different. And if you watched the Destiny Community Podcast, most of the hardcore players and commentators in that podcast were sort of in agreement that skill-based matchmaking, they still think that it probably takes priority, that Bungie was being condescending in their update. But Pope, who is a very casual player, I don't know if, my audience, the person, you that are watching and listening to this commentary, I don't know if you know who Pope is. I didn't know who Pope was until a few weeks ago. But anyways, he's a casual player. He plays with his son. He plays with his wife. He's pretty good, or I guess maybe average. He hasn't really experienced it. But at the same time, he also doesn't have that much time to invest in the game. And every other person in the podcast, like Miss 5,000 Watts, Tefty Tef, Patrick Casey, they play the game a lot, they play PvP a lot, they have experienced it more, so it feels like they're being affected by skill-based matchmaking more. And on top of that, I would say that at least Miss 5,000 Watts and Tefty Tef, they are highly skilled players, so they're constantly being put into lobbies that are really good players. And there's going to be less people to choose from a skill-based matchmaking perspective, that are going to have a good connection to them. I hope that really makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well, but for an average player, they're not going to be seeing the issues that the small 1% to 5% of players that are involved in watching YouTube videos, watching Twitch, following the meta very closely, they're not going to be experiencing that like we do. On top of that, I wanted to also share my thoughts on how this situation can be improved going forward. I think in Destiny 2, I don't think we're going to see it in Destiny 1, but I think in Destiny 2, what we can expect from Bungie, if they truly want to make this a competitive game, because right now Destiny is not a competitive game. It's not very balanced at all, in my opinion. It's purely a casual experience, which I love, don't get me wrong. But to my point, we're going to have to see an unranked playlist and then a ranked playlist. I think that is truly where this game needs to go if we want to make a competitive community. I think the private matches are a good first step, but I don't think that is the end game. I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. We're going to need to have competitive matchmaking. We're going to actually have to show people's ranks so that you know when you're improving. And then we can revisit this topic of skill-based matchmaking versus connection-based matchmaking. There are certain days where it feels like skill-based matchmaking is taking a precedence over connection-based matchmaking, but I would really like, if you are if you're watching this video right now, I want you to go out and record some data. Go ahead and play for a week or two, record the experiences you have, and let me know in the comments section down below. I think I'm going to do that. Now that I've read their update, I'm going to do a bit of research myself, try to make a note when I play in a lobby with someone who's lagging, and we'll see what happens. Those are my thoughts on the situation. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. If you're sticking around and are still listening, thank you. I'd really appreciate you sticking around. If you would do me a favor and please leave a like on this video, I would greatly appreciate it. My name has been Krupadoop. I will see you in the next video. Bye.